Hello and welcome back to Unreal Engine 5 Visual Novel and Narrative Game Design online course. In the previous lesson we did some functionality, we got some information out of our data table. But to utilize information from any data table, of course, we need to have a bit of design on our UI. So let's create our main HUD, and probably we're gonna start our dialog setup also. So, as I said, we're gonna go to UI folder and create a widget blueprint, user widget, and let's call it WG_HUD HUD. So, this will be the widget that will be hosting all of our widgets. It won't be a control point, and we will use it to pass probably the reference of script manager. But we mostly use it to have every widget in one place. And the widgets themselves will have the functionality. So let's open this. And I'm gonna add a canvas. And to be honest, let's add an image also. That will be the background image. Let's call this background. And set it to anchor to full screen. We set the offsets 0, 0. And for now, let's just leave it blank. Now, what we need is a variable. I went to the graph of the widget, and the variable will be the script manager ref. Now you could do this with a bunch of ways. Or the type will be script manager. Object reference. This is the type we need. Script. It's the blueprint we made. Object reference. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna expose instance editable and expose on spawn. So when we spawn it from the script manager, we're gonna store script manager to this widget, and then we're gonna pass it to every child widget also. It's not the best practice. You could do this with blueprint interfaces, with event dispatchers and everything, but for such a small scale and to have each widget more modular, let's say, for experimenting on your own, this will do. Having it as a reference and then passing the reference to the other widgets. So let's begin by spawning this on our script manager. Now we have the begin play, we create the widget loading, and let's put a delay. Let's make it 2 seconds. And then we're gonna create widget. Now copy paste this player controller here and choose HUD, WG HUD. You see, it requires, now that I put it HUD, it wants the script manager reference. And here I'm gonna put self. So I'm gonna promote this to a variable, call it HUD ref. And we're gonna grab our loading screen reference and remove from parent, and we will be adding the HUD on viewport. Add to viewport. And compile and save. No, still, I'm not connecting this yet. Now that we have our HUD, let's start populating it. So we're gonna go back to UI. I'm gonna create a new widget, and call this widget dialog. Compile and save everything. And let's begin with drawing this. Now for the specific one, we're gonna add a canvas. To be honest, we're gonna be adding canvases in all widget, which is not one of the best practices again, but to have them as separate entities, if you want to call them or practice with them individually, it's better. But it would be better to have the elements on their own and having a canvas only on the HUD. Too many canvases create performance issues. Anyway, in our game, they won't create performance issues, or 10 widgets won't create that much of a performance issues. But when you do a 3D game and you have lots of small widgets, if everything has a canvas, it can create a problem. Anyway, let's add a vertical box. And inside the vertical box, actually, let's maybe let's add first everything and then shape it. So we're gonna need a spacer. We're gonna need a horizontal box also. And we're gonna copy paste the spacer and put the horizontal box in between. Now, why do I do this? So let's get our vertical box and anchor it to the middle of the bottom. And actually, sorry, not on the middle of the bottom, on the whole bottom, this one. So it's here and here. So let's offset it. Now I'm gonna give it a specific length. I'm gonna put it on size Y 500 and on Y offset minus 500. Now the internal widget, let's put everything on fill. It's gonna be this one. This will be hosting our text, well, the things inside it. But let's say I want to move it from below a little bit further up. This can be done with spacers and how much percentage of this box the spacers take. So I'm gonna set the to take 0.1 and 0.1. So basically, I can easily give a height that I desire based on the spacers for the y-axis. Now I'm going to do the same for the x-axis by using two spacers again inside here. I have one here, and between them I'm going to put a vertical box. Here it is, and press fill. Now you see I have right space, left space, top and bottom, so I can, this is my element that will have the text, and I can easily manipulate it left, right with the spacers and how much they fill. 0.1 seems a lot, so I'm gonna do it 0.05. Now it looks a bit better. A very valid question would be, why not just drag and drop them and anchor them? And certainly you could do that, and there's plenty of ways to go. I'm more versed in setting up basic layout like this, and in my opinion it's more safe in different resolutions. Of course you can lock resolutions on your game and you can test many resolutions and everything, but for me this kind of setup is more familiar and provides me better results when on basic framework of the basic layout basically of the widgets. Now smaller widgets that can pop left and right and everything, of course it can be done easier in just setting an anchor and offsetting it. But for now we're gonna follow this way. So I think this is it for this one, and in the next lesson we're gonna continue by filling the elements in the dialog box. Thank you very much. Goodbye.